Hello, and welcome to Skillify English. I am so happy you are here today. This video is very special. It is designed to help you master English listening. Many students tell me that native speakers talk too fast. They swallow their words. They use slang that is hard to understand. Today, we are going to change that. For the next hour, I will speak to you in slow, clear, and simple English. I will pronounce every word carefully. This is the best way to train your ears. You do not need to stress or worry. Just relax. You can listen to this while you cook, while you drive, or while you are trying to fall asleep. My goal is to help you understand 100% of what I say. By the end of this video, you will feel more confident. You will know many new words. You will feel ready to have real conversations. So, take a deep breath. Let's begin our journey to fluency together. Let's start with our first topic. We will talk about something everyone does every single day. We will talk about daily morning routines and habits. How do you start your day? For most people, the day begins with a sound. It is the sound of an alarm clock. Maybe you use your phone. Maybe you have an old clock on your bedside table. The alarm rings. It is usually early in the morning. Perhaps it is 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. When you hear that sound, you have a choice. Do you wake up immediately, or do you press the snooze button? Many people like to stay in bed for 5 more minutes. The bed is warm. The blankets are soft. It is hard to leave that comfort. Finally, you decide to get up. You put your feet on the floor. You stretch your arms up high. You might yawn because you are still a little sleepy. The first thing many people do is go to the bathroom. You wash your face with cold water. This helps you wake up. You look in the mirror. You brush your teeth. Dentists say we should brush for 2 minutes. It keeps our smile healthy and bright. After washing up, it is time for the most popular morning habit: breakfast. Some people say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. What do you like to eat? In some countries, people eat eggs and toast. In other countries, people eat rice or soup. Many people just eat cereal with milk because it is fast and easy. And of course, we cannot forget the drinks. For millions of people, the day does not truly start without a cup of coffee. The smell of fresh coffee is wonderful. It gives you energy. If you do not like coffee, maybe you prefer tea or orange juice. Once you have eaten, you need to get dressed. You choose your clothes based on the weather. Is it cold? You need a sweater. Is it hot? You wear a t-shirt. Is it a work day? You might wear a suit or a uniform. Getting dressed is a simple habit, but it prepares you for the world outside. Before leaving the house, you might check your bag. Do you have your keys? Do you have your wallet? Do you have your phone? We check these 3 things every time: keys, wallet, phone. Then you open the door, step outside, and lock the door behind you. Your day has officially begun. Routines are powerful. They give our lives structure. When we have a good morning routine, we feel calm. We feel ready for any challenge. Now, let's change the subject. Let's leave our daily routine behind and go somewhere exciting. Let's talk about travel and airport experiences. Traveling is one of the best ways to learn about the world. When you travel, you see new places. You meet new people. You eat delicious food. But before you can enjoy your vacation, you usually have to go to the airport. For many English learners, the airport can be a stressful place. There are many announcements, there are many signs. Let's walk through the experience together. First, you must pack your luggage. You need a suitcase. You put your clothes, your shoes, and your toiletries inside. You must be careful not to pack too much. If your bag is too heavy, you will have to pay extra money. You arrive at the airport. The first thing you do is go to the check-in counter. You show the agent your passport and your ticket. They ask you some questions. Did you pack this bag yourself? Do you have any dangerous items? You answer simply, yes, I packed it myself. No, I have nothing dangerous. They take your large suitcase and they give you a boarding pass. This piece of paper is very important. It tells you your seat number and your gate number. Next, you must go through security. This is often the slowest part of the airport experience. You have to wait in a long line. When it is your turn, you put your bags on a conveyor belt. You take your laptop out of your bag. You empty your pockets. You take off your belt and your shoes. You walk through a metal detector. The security officers are there to keep everyone safe. Once you pass security, you put your shoes back on. Now you can relax. You walk to your gate. You might look at the duty-free shops. You might buy a bottle of water or a magazine. Finally, they call your group number. It is time to board the plane. You walk down the bridge and step onto the aircraft. A flight attendant greets you with a smile. You find your seat. Some people like the window seat. They want to see the clouds. They want to see the city from the sky. Other people like the aisle seat. They want to be able to stand up and walk around easily. Which seat do you prefer? The pilot speaks over the intercom. They tell you the flight time and the weather at your destination. The engine starts to roar. The plane moves faster and faster down the runway. Then you feel a lift. You are flying. Traveling by plane is amazing. In just a few hours, you can be in a completely different country. You can hear a different language. When the plane lands, everyone claps or sighs with relief. You wait for the plane to stop at the gate. You grab your carry-on bag. You walk off the plane and go to baggage claim. You watch the carousel go around and around until you see your suitcase. You grab it. Now the adventure really begins. Traveling opens your mind. It teaches you patience, and it gives you stories to tell your friends for the rest of your life. After a long day of travel or a busy morning, there is one thing we all need. We need food. Food is necessary for survival, but it is also a source of joy. Let's move to our next topic. Let's talk about cooking and food. Cooking is a wonderful skill. Some people think cooking is a chore. They think it is boring work. But others think cooking is an art. When you cook, you are a creator. You take simple ingredients and turn them into something delicious. Imagine you are in your kitchen. It is time to make dinner. What is the first step? Usually, you need to go to the grocery store or the market. You choose fresh vegetables. You might buy carrots, onions, potatoes, and tomatoes. You choose your protein, like chicken, fish, or tofu. You buy spices to add flavor. When you return home, you wash your hands. Cleanliness is very important in the kitchen. You might put on an apron to protect your clothes. Now the work begins. You take a cutting board and a sharp knife. You begin to prepare the vegetables. There are many verbs we use for cooking. You peel the potatoes. You chop the onions. You slice the tomatoes. If you are baking a cake, you might whisk the eggs or mix the flour. Next, you choose how to cook the food. You can boil water in a pot to make pasta. You can fry meat in a pan with oil. You can bake bread or cookies in the oven. Or you can grill vegetables outside on a fire. Each method gives the food a different taste. Speaking of taste, let's talk about flavors. How do we describe food? If a food has a lot of sugar, like a cake or a cookie, we say it is sweet. If it has a lot of salt, like chips, we say it is salty or savory. If you use chili peppers, the food is spicy. Some people love spicy food. It makes their mouth feel hot. Other people cannot handle the heat. If you eat a lemon, the taste is sour. And if you drink dark coffee without sugar, the taste is bitter. Once the meal is ready, you set the table. You put down plates, forks, spoons, and knives. In some cultures, you might use chopsticks. You call your family to the table. Eating together is a special time. It is a time to talk about your day. It is a time to laugh and share stories. Food brings people together. It connects us to our culture and our history. Even if you make a simple sandwich, the act of eating is a moment of peace in a busy day. Now that we have eaten and we have energy, let's talk about something serious. Let's talk about work. Specifically, let's talk about job interviews and work life. Work takes up a large part of our lives. Most adults work 5 days a week, but before you can work, you must find a job. The process starts with a piece of paper called a resume or a CV. This document lists your education. It lists your past jobs. It lists your skills. You send this document to a company. If they like your experience, they will invite you for an interview. The interview is a very nervous moment for many people. You want to make a good impression. You dress in formal clothes. You make sure you arrive on time. Being late for an interview is a big mistake. When you meet the manager, you smile. You give a firm handshake. You sit down, and the questions begin. There are some common questions in almost every English job interview. The first one is usually, "Tell me about yourself." This sounds easy, but it is tricky. You should not tell them your life story. You should talk about your professional history. Another common question is, what are your strengths and weaknesses? A strength is something you are good at. Maybe you are organized. Maybe you are good at solving problems. A weakness is something you need to improve. It is good to be honest but positive. If the interview goes well, you get the job. You are hired. Now you enter the world of work life. For many people, this means working in an office. You have a desk and a computer. You have colleagues or coworkers. These are the people you work with. You might become friends with them, or you might just keep a professional relationship. A typical workday starts at 9 in the morning and ends at 5 in the evening. We call this a 9 to 5 job. During the day, you have many tasks. You check your email. You reply to messages. You might attend meetings. Meetings are where the team gathers to discuss projects. Sometimes meetings are long and boring. Sometimes they are productive and exciting. Communication is key in the workplace. You must speak clearly to your boss. You must listen to instructions. If you make a mistake, it is important to admit it and fix it. We call this taking responsibility. Work can be stressful. We have deadlines. A deadline is the time when a project must be finished. If the deadline is today at 5 p.m., you must work fast. This pressure can be difficult. That is why breaks are important. You might take a lunch break for 1 hour. You step away from your computer. You eat, you walk, and you rest your brain. In recent years, work life has changed. Many people now work from home. This is called remote work. You do not need to commute to the office. You can work from your living room. You talk to your team using video calls on your computer. This has many benefits. You save time and money on travel. However, it can also be lonely. You miss the small conversations with coworkers near the coffee machine. Whether you work in a hospital, a school, a factory, or an office, work gives us a sense of purpose. We earn a salary. We use the money to support our families and enjoy our hobbies. Work challenges us to learn and grow. It teaches us teamwork and discipline. So, we have covered the comfort of food and the challenge of work. These are two huge parts of our adult lives. But let us go back in time. Let us remember a time when we did not have to work, a time when life was about playing and learning. Let's move to our next topic, childhood memories and school. Do you remember being a child? Life felt very different back then. The days seemed longer. The world seemed bigger. Let's spend some time talking about childhood memories and going to school. For most of us, our earliest memories are about playing. We did not worry about bills or jobs. We worried about simple things. Who could run the fastest? Who had the best toy? We used our imaginations. A cardboard box could become a castle. A stick could become a sword. We played outside until the sun went down. We came home with dirty knees and happy hearts. Then a big change happened. We started school. Do you remember your first day of school? You were probably 5 or 6 years old. You might have felt scared. You held your mother's hand very tight. You wore a new uniform or new clothes. You had a backpack with pencils and a notebook inside. But soon the fear went away. You met your teacher. You made new friends. School is where we learn about the world. In the classroom, we sat at small desks. We learned how to read and write. We learned how to count. Do you remember your favorite subject? Some students loved art class. They loved to draw and paint with bright colors. Others loved music class. They liked to sing songs. Some students loved science. They wanted to know how plants grow or why the sky is blue. And of course, some students loved math, while others found it very difficult. For many children, the best part of the school day was not the lessons. It was recess or break time. The bell rang, everyone ran outside to the playground. We played games like tag or hide and seek. We climbed on the monkey bars. We swung on the swings. It was a time to be free. We also had lunchtime. We opened our lunch boxes and traded food with our friends. I will give you my apple if you give me my cookie. These were our first business deals. As we grew older, school became harder. We went to high school. The teachers gave us more homework. We had to study for exams. Exams are stressful. You have to memorize dates and facts. You stay up late at night reading textbooks. But school also taught us discipline. It taught us how to work hard to achieve a grade. Finally, school ends with graduation. You wear a special cap and gown. You walk across a stage. Your family cheers for you. You receive your diploma. It is a proud moment. It marks the end of childhood and the beginning of adulthood. You realize that those years went by very fast. Even if you did not like school at the time, you often look back on it with a warm feeling. You miss your old friends. You miss the simplicity of being a student. Now that we are adults, we have different responsibilities. One of those responsibilities is managing our home and buying what we need. Let's move to our next practical topic, shopping and customer service. Shopping is a part of everyday life. Sometimes we shop because we need things, like food or medicine. Sometimes we shop because we want things, like new clothes or a new gadget. This is called retail therapy. Buying something new can make you feel good. Let's imagine we are going to a shopping mall or a clothing store. You walk inside. A store clerk or shop assistant might approach you. They usually say, "Can I help you find anything?" Or, "How can I help you?" If you are just looking, you can say, "I'm just browsing, thank you." Browsing means looking around without a specific plan. If you are looking for something specific, you can ask for help. You might say, "Excuse me, where are the jeans?" Or, "Do you have this shirt in a different color?" When you find a piece of clothing you like, you need to check the size. Sizes are usually small, medium, large, or extra large. But you never know if it will fit perfectly, so you must try it on. You ask, "Where is the fitting room?" or "Where is the changing room?" You take the clothes into a small room with a mirror. You put them on. You look in the mirror. Does it fit? Maybe it is too tight. This means it is too small and uncomfortable. Maybe it is too loose or too big. It looks baggy. If it fits perfectly, we say it fits like a glove. You decide to buy it. You look at the price tag. The price tag tells you how much money it costs. If you are lucky, the item might be on sale. This means the price is lower than usual. We love discounts. A discount is when you get 20% or 50% off. If the price is very low, we say it is cheap or a bargain. If the price is very high, we say it is expensive. You take your items to the register or the checkout counter. The cashier scans the items. They tell you the total amount. "That'll be $50, please." You can pay with cash, which is physical money like coins and paper bills, or you can pay with a credit card or debit card. You tap your card or insert it into the machine. The cashier gives you a receipt. A receipt is a small piece of paper that proves you bought the item. Never throw away your receipt immediately. Why? Because you might change your mind. Maybe you go home and realize the shirt has a hole in it, or maybe your husband or wife does not like the color. If you are not happy, you can return the item. You go back to the store to customer service. You say, "I would like to return this, please." They will ask for your receipt. If you have it, they can give you a refund. A refund means they give you your money back. Sometimes they cannot give you cash back, but they give you store credit. This means you must spend that money in the store later. Good customer service is important. Polite staff make us want to return to the store. Rude staff make us want to stay away. Shopping involves a lot of specific vocabulary, but once you know the words receipt, refund, fitting room, discount, it becomes much easier to navigate. So, we have talked about the memories of our past in school and the practical tasks of our present in shopping. Now let's talk about what we do when we are not working and not shopping. Let's talk about what we do for fun. Our next topic is hobbies and free time. We all have 24 hours in a day. We spend time sleeping. We spend time working. We spend time doing chores. But the best time of the day is free time. This is the time when you can do exactly what you want. You can relax. You can have fun. This is when we enjoy our hobbies. What is a hobby? A hobby is an activity you do for pleasure, not for money. Hobbies are very important for our mental health. They help us manage stress. They help us unwind after a busy week. Unwind means to relax and let go of tension. Let's talk about indoor hobbies first. These are things you can do inside your house. One of the most popular hobbies is reading. When you read a book, you travel without moving your feet. You can read a mystery novel, a romance story, or a biography about a famous person. Reading improves your vocabulary and your imagination. Another common indoor hobby is watching movies or TV series. Thanks to streaming services, we have thousands of options. Do you like comedies that make you laugh? Do you like horror movies that make you scream? Or do you like documentaries that teach you about the real world? Watching movies in English is also a fantastic way to learn the language. You can listen to the dialogue and read the subtitles at the same time. Some people prefer active hobbies. They like to use their hands to create things. For example, painting or drawing. You take a blank piece of paper or a canvas and you use a brush and paint to make a picture. It does not have to be perfect. It is about expressing your feelings. Knitting is another creative hobby. You use wool and needles to make a scarf or a sweater. It is very relaxing to move your hands in a rhythm. Music is a universal hobby. Many people play an instrument. Maybe you play the guitar, the piano, or the violin. Learning an instrument takes a lot of practice. You have to learn the notes and the chords. But when you can play a beautiful song, it feels amazing. Even if you cannot play an instrument, listening to music is a hobby. You put on your headphones and get lost in the sound. Now, let's go outside. Outdoor hobbies are great for your body. Gardening is a peaceful hobby. You plant seeds in the soil. You water them. You wait for the sun to help them grow. Watching a flower bloom or a vegetable grow gives you a sense of accomplishment. Plus, you get fresh air. Sports are also very popular. In many countries, football or soccer is the #1 sport. People love to play it in the park, and they love to watch it on TV. Tennis, basketball, and running are also common. When you exercise, your body releases chemicals called endorphins. These chemicals make you feel happy. That is why you often feel good after a workout, even if you are tired. Whether you like to collect stamps, bake cakes, play video games, or hike up mountains, having a hobby makes life interesting. It gives you something to look forward to. It makes you an interesting person to talk to. Speaking of talking, there's one topic that strangers always talk about. It is the safest topic for small talk. It is the weather. Let's move to our next section, weather and seasons. Weather affects everything. It affects what we wear. It affects what we eat. It affects our mood. Depending on where you live, you might have 4 distinct seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Let's start with spring. Spring is the season of new life. The snow melts. The days start to get longer. The weather is usually mild. It is not too hot and it is not too cold. The best thing about spring is the flowers. Trees turn green again. Flowers bloom in red, yellow, and purple. However, spring often brings rain. We have a saying, April showers bring May flowers. You need an umbrella and a raincoat during this season. After spring comes summer. For many people, this is their favorite season. Summer is hot. The sun shines brightly. The sky is blue. School is out, so children are at home. Families often go on vacation during the summer. They go to the beach. They swim in the ocean to cool down. They build sandcastles. They eat ice cream. But summer can be uncomfortable too. When it is humid, the air feels heavy and sticky. You sweat a lot. You need air conditioning or a fan to sleep at night. Then comes autumn, also called fall. The weather begins to cool down. You need to wear a light jacket or a sweater. The leaves on the trees change color. They turn from green to beautiful shades of orange, red, yellow, and brown. Eventually, the leaves fall to the ground. That is why we call it fall. The air feels crisp and fresh. It is a cozy season. People like to drink hot tea and stay inside. Finally, we have winter. Winter is the coldest season. In many places, the temperature drops below freezing. Water turns into ice. Rain turns into snow. The world becomes white and quiet. Snow is beautiful, but it can make driving difficult. You must wear heavy clothes. You need a winter coat, a scarf for your hands, and a hat for your head. The days are very short. The sun sets early, sometimes at 4 in the afternoon. Some people feel sad in the winter because there is not enough sunlight. But it is also a festive time with many holidays. Weather can also be dangerous. We have storms. Thunder is the loud noise you hear in the sky. Lightning is the bright flash of electricity. If the wind is very strong, it might be a hurricane or a typhoon. If there is too much rain, we get floods. If there is no rain for a long time, we get a drought. Learning weather vocabulary is very useful. If you look out the window, you can describe what you see. Is it sunny? Is it cloudy? Is it rainy? Is it foggy? Fog is when a cloud comes down to the ground and makes it hard to see. Is it windy? Talking about the weather is a great way to start a conversation with a stranger. You can say, "It's a beautiful day, isn't it?" Or, "Can you believe how much rain we are getting?" Everyone experiences the weather, so everyone has an opinion about it. So, we have discussed how we spend our free time and how the seasons change the world around us. But life is not just about activities and weather. It's about the people we share our lives with. It's about the connections we make. Let's move to a very important topic: friendship and relationships. We have traveled through the airport. We have cooked dinner. We have gone to work and school. We have talked about the weather. But what is life without other people? Humans are social creatures. We need connection. We need to love and to be loved. Let's explore our next topic, friendship and relationships. There is a famous saying in English, "No man is an island." This means that nobody can live completely alone. We all rely on others. Let's start with friendship. A friend is someone you like. You enjoy their company. But there are different levels of friendship. First, there is an acquaintance. An acquaintance is someone you know, but not very well. Maybe you see them at work. Maybe you say hello to them at the gym. You know their name, but you do not know their secrets. You do not hang out with them on the weekend. Then there are casual friends. These are people you might go to coffee with. You talk about light topics. You talk about movies or sports. You have fun together. Finally, there is the close friend or best friend. This relationship is very special. A best friend is someone you trust completely. You can tell them anything. If you are sad, they will listen to you. If you are happy, they will celebrate with you. A true friend is honest. They will tell you the truth, even if it is hard to hear. They will support you when you have a problem. We use the phrasal verb rely on. You can rely on a best friend. You know they will be there for you. Making friends as an adult can be difficult. When we are children, we make friends easily on the playground. As adults, we are busy. We are often tired. To make new friends, you have to be brave. You have to join clubs or groups. You have to invite people to do things. You might say, "Would you like to grab lunch sometime?" It takes effort, but it is worth it. Relationships also require work. You must keep in touch. This means you must contact your friends regularly. You can send a text message. You can make a phone call. You can meet for dinner. If you do not water a plant, it dies. Friendship is the same. If you ignore your friends, the friendship will fade away. Let's talk about family relationships. For many people, family comes first. Your parents, your siblings, brothers and sisters, and your extended family, like cousins, aunts, and uncles. Family is often where we find unconditional love. This means they love you no matter what you do. Of course, families also fight. We have arguments. We disagree. But usually we forgive each other. We say, "I am sorry," and we move forward. There is also romantic love. This is the world of dating and marriage. Vocabulary for dating can be confusing. When two people like each other, they might go on a date. They go to a movie or a restaurant to get to know each other. If they continue to see each other, they become a couple. They are boyfriend and girlfriend or partners. When people fall deeply in love, they might decide to settle down. This means they want to build a life together. They might get engaged. One person asks, "Will you marry me?" If the answer is yes, they have a wedding. A wedding is a big celebration of love. After the wedding, they are husband and wife, or spouses.
Relationships are beautiful, but they are not always easy. Communication is the key. You must listen to your partner. You must share your feelings. If you are angry, you should use your words, not silence. A healthy relationship makes you a better person. It gives you a teammate in the game of life. Now, let's look forward. We have talked about the people around us. Now, let's talk about the fire inside of us. Let's begin our final and most important topic, future goals and motivation. What is a goal? A goal is something you want to achieve. It is a dream with a deadline. We all have dreams, Maybe you dream of traveling to Paris. Maybe you dream of buying a big house. Maybe you dream of speaking English fluently. But a dream is just a thought in your head until you make a plan. Setting goals gives our lives direction. Imagine you are driving a car. If you do not have a destination, you are just driving in circles. You are wasting gas. But if you have a destination, every turn you take has a purpose. You are moving forward. We can divide goals into two categories: short-term goals and long-term goals. A short-term goal is something you want to do soon, maybe this week or this month. For example, I want to learn 10 new English words this week, or I want to finish reading this book by Friday. These goals are small steps. They are easy to achieve. When you achieve a short-term goal, you feel proud. You get a little boost of energy. A long-term goal is something that takes time. It might take 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years. For example, I want to become a doctor, or I want to move to another country. These goals require patience. You cannot do them in one day. You have to work on them little by little, every single day. To achieve big goals, you need a plan. You need to break the big goal down into small pieces. Imagine you want to climb a high mountain. You cannot jump to the top. You have to take one step at a time. If you look at the top of the mountain, it looks scary. It looks too far away. But if you look at your feet, you can take just one step, then another, and another. Eventually, you will reach the top. There is a very important word we must discuss: ambition. Ambition is a strong desire to succeed. An ambitious person is not satisfied with being average. They want to be the best they can be. Ambition is the fuel for your goals. However, the road to success is not a straight line. It is a winding road. There are bumps, there are holes, there are obstacles. Sometimes you will fail. Failure is a scary word. Nobody wants to fail. We are afraid of making mistakes. We are afraid of looking foolish. But I want to tell you a secret. Failure is necessary. Every successful person has failed many times. The inventor Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. When you fail, you learn. You learn what does not work. You gain experience. So do not be afraid of mistakes, especially in English learning. If you say the wrong word, it is okay. It means you are trying. Mistakes are proof that you are learning. Sometimes we lose our motivation. Motivation is the feeling that makes you want to work. When you are motivated, you feel excited. You wake up early. You study hard. But motivation is like the weather. It changes. Some days it is sunny and you feel motivated. Some days it is rainy and you feel lazy. You cannot rely only on motivation. This is where discipline comes in. Discipline is doing what you need to do even when you do not want to do it. It is studying English even when you are tired. It is going to the gym even if it is cold outside. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. One of the biggest enemies of goals is procrastination. This is a big word. Procrastination means waiting until later to do something. You say, "I will do it tomorrow." Then tomorrow comes and you say, "I will do it next week." Soon a year has passed and you have done nothing. We procrastinate because we are lazy or because we are afraid.
The best way to beat procrastination is to follow the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself, I will do this for just 5 minutes. Usually, once you start, it is easy to keep going. The hardest part is starting. Let's think about your English goals specifically. Why are you learning English? This is your why. Your why must be strong. If you are learning English just because your teacher told you to, you might quit. But if you are learning English because you want to get a better job to support your family, that is a strong why. If you want to travel the world and make friends in every country, that is a strong why. Keep your goal in your mind. Visualize it. Visualize means to create a picture in your head. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself speaking English perfectly. Imagine yourself laughing and talking with native speakers. Imagine how good that will feel. This positive image will help you when the studying gets difficult. Success does not happen overnight. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want things now. We want fast food. We want fast internet. We want fast results. But true skill takes time. You are building a house. You cannot put the roof on before you build the walls. You must lay the bricks one by one.
Let's continue with one final thought on achieving your goals. There is a dangerous trap that many students fall into. It is the trap of comparison. When you look at social media, you see people who seem perfect. You see people who speak 5 languages. You see people who are rich and successful. You look at them, and then you look at yourself. You think, I am not good enough. I am too slow. Please stop doing this. Comparison is the thief of joy. Do not compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. We all start at 0. We all have different paths. Some people learn fast. Some people learn slowly. It does not matter how fast you go as long as you do not stop. There's an old story about a tortoise and a hare. The hare ran very fast, but he got distracted and fell asleep. The tortoise walked very slowly, but he never stopped. In the end, the tortoise won the race. Be the tortoise. Be steady. Be consistent. Consistency is the secret ingredient to success. Consistency means doing the same thing over and over again without quitting. It is better to study English for 15 minutes every day than to study for 5 hours once a month. Your brain needs regular practice. It's like a muscle. If you go to the gym once a month, you will not get strong. If you go a little bit every day, you will see results. So celebrate your small wins. Did you learn a new word today? That is a win. Did you understand this video? That is a huge win. Give yourself credit. Be kind to yourself. You are doing something difficult. You are learning a complex language. You should be proud of your effort. As we approach the end of our time together, I want to talk specifically about your English learning journey. You have been listening to me for almost 1 hour. Think about that. For 1 hour, you have focused. You have processed thousands of words. Your brain has been working hard. Learning English is more than just memorizing grammar rules. It is more than just passing a test. Learning English is about opening a door. It is a door to the world.
When you speak English, you can talk to people from Japan, from Brazil, from Germany, and from Africa. English is the global language. It allows us to share ideas. It allows us to understand cultures that are different from our own. There will be days when you feel frustrated. There will be days when you feel like your tongue does not work. You will try to say a word and it will come out wrong. People might not understand you. You might feel embarrassed. I want you to remember this moment. Remember that frustration is part of the process. Every mistake you make is a stepping stone. It brings you one step closer to fluency. Do not let fear silence you. Speak up. Make mistakes. Laugh at your mistakes. Surround yourself with the language. Listen to music. Watch movies. Change the language on your phone to English. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Narrate your day. I am making coffee. I am walking to the bus. Make English a part of your daily life, not just a subject you study in a book. And most importantly, never lose your curiosity. Stay curious like a child. Ask questions. Wonder about the world. When you are curious, learning is not work. It is an adventure. Now, let's look back at what we have covered today. We have traveled a long way together in this video. We started our day with the morning alarm and the smell of coffee. We brushed our teeth and got dressed for the day. We went to the airport. We checked our bags, went through security, and flew into the sky. We went into the kitchen. We chopped vegetables, boiled pasta, and shared a meal with family. We went to work. We talked about resumes, interviews, and the busy life of the office. We went back to our childhood. We remembered the playground, the classroom, and our first friends. We went shopping. We tried on clothes in the fitting room and looked for bargains. We explored our hobbies. We read books, played sports, and relaxed in our free time. We watched the seasons change, from the flowers of spring to the snow of winter. We talked about the people we love, our friends, our partners, and our families. And finally, we looked inside ourselves. We talked about our goals, our dreams, and the power of not giving up. These topics cover the fabric of our lives. They are the simple, everyday things that make us human. By understanding these topics in English, you are ready to participate in the world. I hope you feel more confident now than you did 1 hour ago. I hope your ears feel tuned to the rhythm of this language. You have proven to yourself that you can do it. You can understand. Please listen to this video again. Repetition is very powerful. The second time you listen, you will hear things you missed the first time. The third time, you will understand even more. Shadow my voice. Repeat the words after me. Copy my pronunciation. This is how you master the accent. Thank you for spending this hour with me. Thank you for trusting me to guide you. It is an honor to be a part of your journey. Keep dreaming, keep practicing, keep moving forward. Your future is bright, and you are capable of amazing things. Believe in yourself, just as I believe in you. This is Skillify English. I am signing off now. Have a wonderful morning, a wonderful evening, or a wonderful night, wherever you are in the world. Goodbye for now, and I will see you in the next lesson.